This is my 2004 Evo 8MR. It's had it for about 2 years now, and it's been a slow evolution, of course. Started its life pretty well stock, but yeah, sort of had a bit of a feel for Colin Grove hill climb and as my first event, and had a bit of fun there. So decided that it was a very capable platform and decided that I'd spend a bit of money on it. So it's evolved from about pretty much stock and with some coilovers to a fair few engine mods, a turbo upgrade, so GTP 712 with fuel pump, injectors, all the normal mods for engine upgrade, and it's pulling around about 285 kilowatt of the wheels at the moment. So it's moderate and it's a safe tune, so it's on E85 as well, so has a little bit more room to grow, but not on the stock internals, unfortunately. So looking forward to maybe an engine build sometime later this year or next year, but for now, just enjoying the power that it's got. Probably my first car or first performance car was an RX-7 when I was younger, and had it all ported and had a fair bit of power. It was a good car. Yeah, the evolution of that was an RX-7 to another RX-7 after that, a little bit crazier again, and then had an R32 Skyline, which I absolutely loved and wish I still had it today. Wish I'd never let go of it, but I hadn't really had any experience in four-wheel drive cars. So I bought an Audi S6, which was a V8, 4.2 litre all-wheel drive, and that was really, really good fun. But it got to the point where I really wanted a track car, something that I could push a bit harder, and if it broke, it didn't matter because it wasn't my daily. So fell in love with the all-wheel drive platform and went looking for an all-wheel drive track car. So took this for a test drive and was immediately sold. It's a really capable platform, and haven't looked back since. So the MR's got a few body differences. It's got the aluminium panels on the front quarter panels, aluminium roof and boot. It's also got a few slight differences as well. A little bit of the interior is different, as well as some forged internals, or the rods at least are forged, but other than that, not a lot of difference really. So yeah, the forged rods will allow you to go a little bit higher in power and maybe a little bit more reliability before you throw one, but ultimately when you're pushing that kind of power, it's only a matter of time. So but yeah, 8MR is definitely my favorite and a little bit more collectible, I guess, so hence the reason I went for it. So just put some TE37 SLs on it, 9.5 wide, so I can run a 265 tyre for SA Time Attack. Brake upgrade, so just better rotors with a J-hook pattern, better pads, so some M119 pads, which I found have been really, really good for the bend. It's also got exhaust, so basically a straight through exhaust, so right from the turbo back. Also got MCA Race Red suspension with upgraded spring rates as well, so 12 kilo front, 14 kilo rear, just to make it a little bit more on a knife edge, so to speak, just to get that little bit more out of it. Got rally art bushes and white line kit through it as well, so it's all running nice and straight. Also got, just on the exterior, got a carbon bonnet with some extra vents, bonnet pins, canards, and there will be a rear diffuser put on pretty soon as well. So yeah, so that's it for sort of exterior and suspension. Clutch, it's got an upgraded heavy duty clutch, which has probably got a bit of a limited lifespan, and that'll be swapped out for a twin plate pretty soon. Also for engine, so we've got the GT pump 712 turbo upgrade, NVIDIA dump pipe, intake, fuel pump, so Walbro fuel pump, FIC 1000cc injectors, and it's running a dual map on 98 and E85, which it pretty much runs on E85 all the time. The other bits like blow-off valve, 3-port boost solenoid, all the hot side intercooler piping's been done. That's pretty much it, I think, for the mods all around. I think it's just something I've always wanted to do when I was younger. Always been into cars. My whole family know I'm a car fanatic, but probably when I was younger, didn't have the opportunity to get into karting. I was really keen to get into it, but you know, family just weren't too keen to go down that path. So I guess I'm just making up for lost time, getting out to the track and just enjoying the challenge of becoming a better driver and pushing the limits a little bit now that I can afford to do so. That's pretty much why I think I went with this platform and pushing it more towards a track car that happens to have a number plate on it. Yeah, look, I still love WRXs. I'd love a GC8. I always have. I've got friends that have had them and they're a brilliant car, so much fun. But I think I was just looking for something a little bit different and wanted to sort of just choose my own path with my car. So it's been a really good journey. But yeah, I think there's a certain element of owning an Evo. Not everybody has one, and it's very, very satisfying out on the track, passing cars that are, you know, 2, 3 and 4 times more expensive and leaving them behind, and it's a good feeling. So I think the finish line is probably going to be once this engine eventually goes. It won't last forever, I know that. So already got some plans and some money put aside for a parallel engine build. So Mike Dale is my mechanic, and we've built a good relationship over the last couple of years. So yeah, we've sort of decided that when the time is right, we'll look at doing a parallel build and going with a stroker and a bigger turbo. So chasing the sort of 350 kilowatt of the wheels sort of power bracket. But the beauty of that is that the rest of the car is more or less set up to handle that kind of power. Might need to do a 5-speed gearbox change, but other than that, everything's pretty well ready to go. So I think that'll be the next evolution. But for me, just really want to have a good shot at SA Time Attack in the club sprint class and see if I can come home with a trophy. I've got a contact interstate who's been right into World Time Attack and Victorian Time Attack. So yeah, he's been helping me out quite a bit. So that's Charles from Lamb Speed Racing, has been really helpful, just with some hints and tips and some things that I can do just with setup of my car to try and shave a few milliseconds off. But yeah, they're definitely an inspiration, and it's something that if I had the money and the time, I probably would go down that path. But yeah, as it is at the moment, I just love being able to still got a number plate on it. I can still drive it to work on a Friday and take it to the track for the rest of the time. So yeah, really drivable. So as long as you tune and your package is, you know, drivable and it's not too crazy, then yeah, there's no reason why you can't go down to the shops and do your shopping. It's got 4 doors and a boot, so you can, you know, go and pick some friends up and do whatever you like. It's just like a normal car. But obviously once it gets on the track and you stick the boot into it, it turns into a weapon. So for anybody that wants to buy an Evo, I highly recommend it, but go into it with plenty of research and make sure that, you know, you got some reasonably deep pockets as well, because it's one thing to, you know, to be able to buy or acquire an Evo. It's another thing to be able to keep it up well maintained and running well. And if you're going to drive it daily, you just have to be aware that, you know, you're going to have some pretty high running costs. But all in all, you know, Mitsubishi, Nissan, they're both great manufacturers, and you know, you can drive it daily if you want. Got to be aware that there's a bit of upkeep and not the greatest in peak hour traffic. So turning circles probably the worst of any car I've ever owned. So just getting around the city and parking and stuff isn't the greatest, but when you're on the track, you don't care. Just general maintenance. So you know, you always want to be making sure your oil's changed. All your filters can be a little bit heavy on the clutch too. So if you've got a standard clutch and you're sort of doing launches and doing all the fun stuff, you'll probably burn through that really quick. And I guess the other thing too, you know, if you are a bit abusive to your car, you know, the 6-speed gearboxes tend to go, but you swap it out for a 5-speed and you're generally all right. If you don't have the suspension set up properly, you'll probably chew through tires. You know, you'll wear the inners of your tires out if you're running sort of 3.5 degree of camber like I am. So wouldn't want to be driving it every day. But other than that, they're pretty good. You know, it's a 4-door family car that you can enjoy on the track. It's a great community. I knew nobody when I first bought my Evo. I knew absolutely nobody. So was pretty surprised to find that there is a really good club community in the Mitsubishi GSR Evo Club. So yeah, I go to a few events and a few little cruises and stuff here and there, and it's a really, really good club. So I guess I recommend for anybody that's got an Evo, join the club. It's not expensive. It's a few bucks a year. And the guys work tirelessly to put events on, and there's a really good support network as well. So you've got a lot of forums or Facebook pages that throw some stuff out there, and there's always people willing to help. So I've had heaps of people help me out with just random stuff over the last couple of years. But yeah, there's some good characters as well in the Evo club and in the Evo scene, and most people that have those Evos know who those people are, and they're always good fun to catch up with. So I think the favorite thing is probably not so much the car itself, but being able to go out on the track and really get close to driving on a knife edge. So where you point it, it generally goes, and really honing your skills into being an aggressive but smooth driver, and it will reward you for that. And beating other cars that are worth a lot more, is definitely very satisfying. So I think for me, the whole Evo package boils down to the kind of fun you have in it. It sounds great, and yeah, it's just awesome to be able to blow a lot of people off. Baby,